everybody. We're going to bring them all out. Send out the sword swallower. That crowd you see in there now, they're being entertained by the most beautiful girl in the world. Come on, darling, close now. We can all see this.
When I was growing up, I spent a lot of time on my grandparents' farm. The circuses would come and the carnivals, and I'd go with my grandfather. It was like going into a fantasy fairyland. And I never felt threatened by the sideshows. I always just felt that it was this precious world that I was privy to. And that's where the sideshow started to come from.
I have wisdom from another world. Trust me, and you'll see just how good you really are.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
Never.
Never say never.
When I conceived the idea for the sideshow, that is where my brain first kicks in, is with the drawing. There's just something about that idea of taking a pen and ink and putting the image down. They start as these small ideas, the little sketch. And then they develop into these projects. I love that little notebook because there's the inception. But then how do I develop this simple sketch into the reality of a 2- or 3-dimensional artwork? It is this delicate balance. And then there's the unconscious. But it's how you can take all these different items and then the idea appears. For me, it's a transformative moment. Once I got the ideas for all the different pieces, I realized that I enjoyed working in a lot of different mediums. I could explore different concepts, different personas. A lot of them started to come alive. It's a modern carnival.
In my world, there is no rivalry between men and women.
The memories of my childhood were so strong, of the circuses, of the sideshows, also of the women in those situations. I would see these people. Even though they might be different, they might be freaks, they might be on display, they still had power and dignity.
I have looked upon those brilliant creatures, and now my heart is sore. All's changed since I, peering at twilight.
Remember the woman in the sideshow, the scantily clad magician's assistant? She's having knives thrown at her, being sawed in half, her head's being cut off. Here I am in another precarious situation, but somehow I am going to get out of this. It was a whole different identity for women then. You're supposed to be genteel and sweet and listen to your man. It was definitely a different culture. I married my first husband because he was the perfect guy to marry. My parents approved of him. We were different people. It wasn't the way I wanted to be loved. I got divorced, and with 2 little boys. It was a very, very rough period of my life. I always kept working. I love going into the studio. It's my sanctuary. For me, with my second husband, I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to have that relationship because finally I was feeling strong on my own as a woman with all these multiple roles. And on the other hand, I was in love with Jay, so we got married. It was one of those huge love affairs. And I learned so much from him. And we had 13 great years. And then he died of cancer. He just turned 49. How can this happen? I was 48 years old when I lost him. It was very hard at first finding my way. I was searching for meaning. Then I started showing after about 7 years. At some points, I didn't even know where the ideas were coming from. They were just coming so fast. It's just one of those lightning bolts that hit you. A gift. There is a lot of sexual innuendo, especially with the sword swallower. He probably would think it's not racy enough. He'd like more moans and groans, more chains being clanged. Oh, I think he'd love it. Her body is far from perfect. She's big and strong. She has a big butt, big legs. She's not your traditional sense of beauty.
She was a big, strong woman. She could have pulled the elephants. But why did she choose to be a sword swallower?
I want to know something about the artist. Who is she? And did she create everything that we're looking at?
I see women that are chained up and held, and I'm thinking, saying something about a society and how women have been suppressed for many, many generations, and since the 1960s, we finally have been liberated.
Gently, she slid back the scarf of foreskin and revealed the red-hot tulip below, with a single droplet of dew sparkling on its tip.
She has a cute little butterfly tattoo on her left cheek that gets red when she's turned on.
Oh my. Oh my.
Okay.
Even though it's graphic, it's not all graphic. It's not in your face.
No, it's very subtle.
It's very subtle. I think so.
They weren't written by her, but taken from old Playboy magazines in the 70s.
Oh.
So all the sexual content is overt and on purpose.
Make no mistake. I can see that your biological signs are dictating that you must now be on high alert. The coming months will be a time of challenge and long struggle. You must not get tired or blink. History has called you into action. You must seize this moment for the good of the world, for peace and for freedom. Be aware of the axis of evil wrongdoers. Do not let your emotions guide you. Only your reason must prevail.
Go beyond polarity and help join others together.
Wow.
Very positive. Very nice.
Ah, pussy. Pussy. is basically my alter ego. Because she's sweet. Here she is, this brave, strong, monolithic woman. Just power of strength, on her toes, lifting that huge cat over her head. But she's got this pussy marshmallow head on her, and so she becomes vulnerable. She becomes much more like the other side of me that doesn't want to go into the arena, that doesn't want to be brave. And that's Pussy. It's great having an alter ego, by the way. I can blame all kinds of things on her. Well, Pussy made me do it. I really don't want to shock anyone. I'm a grandmother. Let's remember that. I'm this little old lady.
What?
All I'm doing is presenting a picture of the world that maybe we could all look into and laugh at. The way I look at it right now is the pieces need a rest. Pussy Marshmallow has been pushing up Max, the world's largest house cat, for 3 months. And it's time that she takes a rest. I'm sad. It's nice having them around. Because they are personalities, they are identities. And they obviously need people to make them come alive. It's so much work putting on this show. It is a ridiculous amount of work.
Okay.
I call them the art carnies. They've been with me almost from the beginning, all of them. They're all artists in their own right, and they really care. The Sideshow's been to a lot of locations now, and we're used to working together, and everyone knows their job and what they have to do. And then, of course, you got Rob. Rob's my point man.
You don't mean bingo set, you mean
To be with an artist now is huge. He's my best friend and buddy. I really did not think I was going to ever meet anyone else after Jay. And I think I've been lucky the way things evolved in my career, too. It's just taken me years of perseverance, and I still feel I'm on this major journey. I can't imagine life without art. It adds in so many ways to our life. Makes you question. To be creative. To be entranced by it. To just explore all different worlds and possibilities.